Welcome to another episode of Prioritize. They accomplish while you drown in lists. It's difficult to juggle your responsibilities. Husband, father, brother. It goes on, but your energy doesn't.
You pondering what I'm pondering?
Prioritize what's right for you, not what's left behind. This is Prioritize with Toby Baker.
You'll have to speak up. I'm wearing a towel.
Greetings, gentlemen and ladies. Welcome to Prioritize. Here we prioritize faith, family, relationships, and more. I'm your crazy white, formerly fat host, the Baker Boy himself. Welcome to the show. I'm so glad you're here. Really, thanks for downloading, thanks for listening. If you're a long-time listener, thanks for hanging with us. It's been a while since I've been able to sit back in front of my own microphone. I was on the road. I was using different audio equipment. I didn't like it. We still have several more podcasts that I recorded on the road. I'm not sure if I really want to drop. Not that this is the best microphone in the world. I just believe this is better audio produced than the other one I was using. Hopefully you can tell the difference. Not to insult your intelligence by any means. I'm just hoping that the audio is better with this one than with the other. It was a lapel Rode, so obviously there should be a difference in there. I am liking this one better. I have an entirely different setup for this one today. I'm not in the studio. I'm back on the road. And today, gentlemen and ladies, we prioritize the hotel stay. Now, why on earth do I say gentlemen first and then ladies?
What? Do you hate the women?
I don't hate women. I like women. I preferably like my model wife. I have for about 26 years. Oh, thank you. I just say gentlemen first. I believe that's the audience who tunes in. Maybe there's some ladies out there. I don't know. My wife says that she listens to the podcast. Thanks, babe. Appreciate it. Love ya. Today we prioritize the hotel stay. I'm on the road, as I just mentioned before, and it's different today than it was back in 2019, 18, and years prior. Do you remember staying in hotels, the days of old with the hotels, how you'd go there with your bags, at the front counter? Oh, and can I have your last name, sir? Oh, it's Baker. First name, Toby. Oh, Mr. Baker, we have been expecting you. I have your key all set. Just sign here. Will you be needing anything additional today? Please let us know. We are here for you, and I hope you have a pleasant stay. And you're like, what happened? And there might even be a person to help take your bags upstairs. He might look a lot like Rob Schneider. It might be Christmas time and you're in New York City. And Tim Curry's at the front desk. Ha! What's the matter? Afraid they'll find your stolen credit cards? Sorry, I can't do Tim Curry very well. He is so good. I love him as an actor. He's fantastic. We have been watching the movie Clue for like 40 years. Probably not 40 years. 35 years? When it first came out, it was amazing. I showed it to my wife, and she's like, this is amazing. Now she uses that as something so peaceful for her to go to sleep to. I'm like, this is about murder, right? Oh, yes, but it's so great. And she's right. It's a good movie. We have a different setup here with the audio. Again, hopefully you like it. I'm so glad that you're tuning in here today. I've been writing down and recording, and there's all this. I have several podcasts to get out there. We have some recorded. I'm not really happy about the audio quality. I think it's subpar. I was using a different microphone. The content is still pretty good. I had some different guests. We were doing live podcasts at the time, which was a lot of fun. You'd have people on the show. You'd have some going back and forth, some communicating. We did this one podcast, and I was talking about prioritizing, I think it was date night with the wife. And this guy comes on. I thought he was in alignment with where I was. Nope, not at all. Way different. Way different. Did not, he just was not there. Today, we're prioritizing the hotel stay. There's the days of old. My dad would get into these motels.
I don't. Was there a Motel 3 or a Motel 4 prior to the Motel 6? I don't know. I'm just asking. That must have been where we stayed. Like the pre-motels before they actually got to the clean ones. These things were bad. You flip the light on, you can hear the pitter-patter in the ceiling from the mice trying to run away from the light. But since it was like Ratatouille. Did you see this movie? It's like Ratatouille. You take a broom and you start chucking at the ceiling. All of a sudden you punch a hole. Dozens of rats are falling down. Mom's going crazy. Now, did this happen to us? No, but the hotel stay was just like that.
I didn't know. I mean, you look. The beds were bad. I remember trying to sleep in those things. That was horrible. But my dad wouldn't even call himself frugal. I would say Dad's frugal. Dad would say, I'm cheap. I don't want to spend a lot of money on a hotel. This is not a destination hotel where you're headed down to Florida. So you want me to blow all the money on a nice hotel? We can do that. It's going to screw up your vacation. Like, okay, no problem. I'm going to shut up now. So this place where I'm at, I didn't book this. The lead tech did. It's fine. It's a nice hotel. I would have booked this hotel. Looking at the selection. Hey, this is. I'm not going to give the name, but it's okay. Just picture the hotel. It's nice. I mean, it's clean. I did find a hair on top of the toilet, and I'm like, I don't know how you feel about these things. I don't like seeing the hair. You would think it's somebody, as a detail-oriented individual, like, hey, I don't want to leave that hair there. You got to offer some grace somewhere, right? They're just people. I'm people. You're people. We're all people. Well, not everybody's people. Are there animals listening to the podcast now? Because I don't program for them. I said gentlemen first because I believe those are the ones. That's my audience. And then they might have their wives listen. Hey, did you hear this idiot? You got to listen to this guy. And then I don't think there's dogs listening. Maybe there's dogs. I don't know. But I'm speaking more towards humans. So if you're a dog, I don't know what to tell you. You probably don't speak English anyway. Wouldn't it be great if they did speak English? If you could teach your dog to speak English, that would be something. I'd pay money to see that. Maybe. It kind of depends on the budget. Like, I don't know if we have in our financial budget. Honey, do we have it in the budget to go see the talking dog? Somebody taught him English. Staying in hotels prior to 2020, it was different. They would bring you fresh linens. They would make your beds, clean out your trash. They would do things. And then they cut their budget in half because they, 2020. I don't know if they still use that as an excuse or if there actually is a reason. It still seems like they're having trouble finding staff, let alone good staff. So I've been in this hotel a couple days. I think I've entered a parallel universe because I'm not sure what to think anymore. Yeah, I've been on the road enough knowing, okay, I'm checking into a clean room, if not a quasi-clean room, and then they'll clean it maybe once during my stay and then on the day of my checkout. So second day in, I'm walking into the room. I'm like, surely they didn't clean the place or check in the bed, and they didn't. And then I look over to the sofa table and I'm like, wait a minute, there's towels there. Now, let this be known, they weren't folded all the way. They weren't like folding towels. It's not like, I don't expect a Disney fold when you go to the Disney cruises. Or my wife and I went to Jamaica. We stayed at Sandals. That was great. That was a destination right there. And you walk in and the towels are all folded in different shapes and they, form the heart and love. And so that was wonderful. This, I don't expect them to have nicely folded towels in the shapes of dinosaurs. Just fold the towel and put it away. But I walk in, I'm like, well, these aren't folded. I mean, it was like, it's not like they're thrown on there, but it was, folded in half. And then it sat there. And I'm like, what are they doing? I looked on the ground. There's my linens from earlier that are dirty because when you use the towels and the washcloths, if you're done with them, I can reuse the towels I used to clean, but I'm using the washcloth to get clean. So I don't generally reuse the washcloth. That goes down on the ground. They left that on the ground. I don't know why they do that. I'm looking at the trash. They left the trash. You're not going to take the trash with you, leave the towels, and then you don't take the trash. They didn't make the bed. What is happening today to the hotels? They don't need to, I'm not expecting to tend to my room every single day. I'm not a prima donna. You don't have to give me fresh towels every single. I'm glad you brought the towels. They also brought some coffee, and then they do these lotion now in little packets. They used to do bottles. You remember the bottles of lotion and shampoo and conditioner? Well, now there's a packet of lotion, and then they put the shampoo, conditioner, and body wash in jars on the wall in the shower.
Back in the day, years ago, how old was I? I must have been like 12, maybe 13 years old. I think 13 years old. Went to this conference called NCYC. You ever heard of this before? This is the National Youth Conference. Northern Central Youth Conference, I think. So it was all over northeastern Indiana, southern Michigan, and eastern Ohio, I think. So the North Central Youth Conference, so like a district for, churches where the kids get together and they go somewhere and they have a lot of fun for a few days. They learn some stuff, they come back home. So the kids get rid of the teens for a few days. They got peace and quiet. And I went to this thing. I loved it. It was great. It was a lot of fun. We stayed at the Grand Amway Hotel in Michigan once. And then we stayed in a hotel in Fort Wayne a couple times. And we stayed somewhere else too. Anyway, it happened once a year. You got a couple thousand teenagers and volunteers and youth pastors, and I guess they're babysitting us for the next, 2.5 days, because we left on a Friday, we got back on a Sunday afternoon, and it was a lot of fun. You staying in a hotel, it's you, 3 of the guys, and then the chaperone, right? Well, our chaperone was a very responsible chaperone. And, you get in there and, let's jump on the beds. Let's see how nice the beds are. Got some nice beds, got towels there. They're looking good. They had the televisions. Back then in the rooms, they weren't the flat ones on the wall. On the back of it, they were like CRT televisions. On the back of the TV, they had these, they almost looked there from a ratchet set to protect the cable box from being disconnected by teenagers trying to hook up their game systems. We found ways around this. Why? Because we were determined individuals. We were entrepreneurs. We were kids who grew up in the 80s. Okay? So we knew how to get around the man. We would take them things off, and it would hook up our Nintendo system, and we'd play video games. And then it'd get to be a certain time in the night, like, hey, who else is hungry? Time to order some pizza. Then we get the pizza and the soda. Normally the chaperone is paying for most of it because all his kids got is like dollar bills, and nobody really wanted to fess up as to how much money we actually had in our pocket. So we're like, I got a couple of ones here, and then we chip in, and then the chaperone guy picked up the rest of the pizza and some soda, and we eventually wound up staying up all night on Friday night. And you definitely didn't want to miss anything on Saturday night because that was the end. This is the last night, and there are people, leaving pizzas outside of the hotel. So you're like walking by, and hey, somebody else's pizza's there. We'll take that too.
Things changed with the televisions. Now you go to a hotel, it's a flat screen. They got to hook up to a box. It's on a network. If you disconnect it from the network, as easy as it should be, why can't I hook up my HDMI cable to my laptop so that I can watch some streaming Netflix or Hulu or I don't know, do some devotions? I obviously don't need the laptop to do devotions, but it'd be nice, if I got some movies on my laptop, on my iPad, on my phone, I can just connect that with the television. I don't see a whole lot of the Google Play, the Apple TV. I don't see those. And when I checked into here, the box on the back of the television was completely disconnected. Didn't have any power to it. I'm thinking, why is this? At 45, I have a much different perspective on service than I did at 35, 25, and 15 years old. Hopefully you do as well.
I'd like to think that I've matured. I believe I have gained more grace living with a very gracious wife for 26 years. And I picked up a few things. I believe that we as men can be better. We can be generous with our dollar bills, especially when it comes to services like this at a hotel. Now, my former mindset All right, I was with you. If you're like, if they're not going to work, I'm not going to pay. I get that totally. I get it. Because you work hard for your money. I work hard for my money. I don't generally enjoy just giving it away to people who don't care, who aren't working hard, who, at least that's the appearance. But the fact is, I don't know what they're going through today. I knew what they were going through when I just graduated from college, because I studied hospitality management. That's what I went to school for. I'd actually managed a hotel for a short period of time. It's tough. It's tough work. It's tough being in the hospitality industry because it's a thankless job. And people expect a lot. They expect a lot. And that's really minimizing the many expectations and sometimes just unrealistic expectations of checking into a hotel. It's just a hotel. There's people that work here. I imagine most of them work hard. They're trying their best. They come in, they work, they clock in, they clean, they put stuff where it needs to go. They clock out, they go home to their life. They don't live here. This isn't the movies. And this isn't a, 5-6-star hotel. I would imagine that 95% of the people who are sleeping in this hotel and utilizing it this week are probably people who are going to go home on Friday. It's here to work. They go to their respective places of work. They come back, they sleep, they eat I had pizza tonight. Oh man, I had this Detroit deep dish style pizza from Buscemi's. Buscemi's the original. It looks like Buscemi, but it's Buscemi's. And I read the reviews. I've not used their pizza before. Used it. What's it useful for? Sorry, I've not eaten their pizza before. But it was very tasty. And the sauce was good. There's a little bit of sugar in the crust. You could tell that, especially if you don't eat sugar on a regular basis, which I'm proud to say I do not. Yes, I know for months I was telling you I'm getting down to 200 pounds by June 1st. And oh my gosh, it just dawned on me. I don't know if I've revisited that since June. Have I been not podcasting for that? That's insane. I should go through some kind of torment. Like I don't get a Coca-Cola for a day. That's horrible. I'm very sorry about that. So I reached my goal close. I got to 203 and I'm like, I'm good with this. I looked in the mirror. I was the sexy beast. And the wife thought so as well. So mission accomplished. This pizza was amazing. It was really good. It was really very good. And I would order again and I would recommend it to everybody. It's called Buscemi's. Here's the funny part. This pizza place was inside of a liquor store. Why did I go there? Not for the liquor, surprisingly enough. It's just a stone's throw away from my hotel. So I was like, look at that. I can walk over, pick up a pie, and then come back home. It was a deep dish. Pepperoni, banana peppers, nice sauce. It was a crust on the outside. It had just a bit of sweetness on there. And I'm like, I got 6 slices. I could only eat 3. 6 was the lowest that they would sell me. Unless you buy them individually. And I don't want to buy it individually because I don't know how long that other pizza had been there. So I grabbed the whole pie. I ordered it and then got back to the hotel. Dove in, got down 3 slices. It was really, really good. I'm like, hey, the 3 guys down actually, there was just 2. When I went down beforehand, it said, where's a good pizza joint? That's where they directed me. And then there was 3 on the way back. I was like, perfect. So I gave them the runaround, right? Because on the way out, I asked them, I said, where's a good pizza joint? Oh, you got to try Buscemi's, sir. It is amazing. Like, why is this amazing? The sauce is good. It's a nice, it's got a little sweetness to it, a little bit of a tanginess to it, and the pepperonis, they're well cooked. It's got a nice, and they were right. Every last bit of it that they said was right. So I had a little fun with them. I walked down there. Well, before I left, I said, hey, this is no good. I come back, they're like, hey, don't talk to us. So I go back downstairs. I got the box closed. I got on my game face. I said, excuse me, gentlemen. And they looked at me and their expressions kind of escaped from their face a little bit. And the third guy who wasn't there prior, he was still smiling because he had no clue what was about to happen. He thought I was just coming down. I don't know what he thought. The other two guys, they were smiling, and when I said, "Excuse me, gentlemen," they weren't smiling anymore. I said, "You two guys send me over to this place. It was this, what's this called? Bashimi's?" And they're like, yeah, what'd you think, Mr. Baker? Let me tell you something. You guys told me that I go over there, the crust is going to be good. And of course, I lay on thick with the Italian accent. The crust is, well, it's more of a Jersey accent. Sorry. It's, the crust is going to be good. The sauce is nice. Let me tell you something. And they're just waiting. They're like, uh-oh. You guys were right. This was, you guys were good. This was a good pizza pie. Listen, I got 3 slices left over. You guys are welcome to it if you want it. I didn't touch the slices. I didn't do anything to the slices. They're yours if you want them. And thanks very much for the suggestions. So, sometimes you get to have a little fun with people. But they're good kids. I think they're in their 20s. Poor guys. They were there at the beginning of the day when I left for the project site, and then they're still there now. I'm like, man, you guys are hard workers. Good for you. Why are we talking about hotels? Because A, that's where I'm staying right now. B, it's where I'm recording from right now. But most importantly, when we leave gratuity for our servers, for the people that are servicing the room, for the people that are trying to make our stay just a little bit better. We don't know what kind of day they've had. I know. They don't know what kind of day we've had. They don't know what kind of week we've gone through. They don't know what kind of crap we've had to get through just to get to the hotel. Let me tell you something. Getting this podcast set up today for this thing was an uphill battle all the way. I had to look for the interface. I didn't have the right USB cable. I had to... what am I doing here with this soundproofing? It's not even soundproofing, but it's a makeshift thing. I don't know if it's working. I hope that it is. My notes escaped from the thing. It took me I had to re-download the software onto the laptop. I've had to locate the opening segment for this. This is the second recording, believe it or not. I lost the first one. So I think the message is a little bit important just to get out there. If you take nothing away from this except for this guy's a bozo, he tells really good stories, he probably has good hair. Take this along with you. Can we be good to these people who might be having a bad day or a bad week or a bad year? I don't know what they've gone through. Can we be better than the person who says, hey, if you're not going to serve me right, I'm not going to give you any gratuity? Forget about that. Can we step up our game so that, I don't know, we're just better? And give as unto the Lord. If we're working as unto the Lord, can we give as unto the Lord because we've had other people be gracious to us when we've screwed up? Well, let's up our game a little bit, all right? We don't know what they're going through. And maybe that extra $5 or $25 that you leave, that might change their entire day. And what did that cost you? An hour? A half hour? What'd you spend $25 on last month that was real memorable? I love that question. Somebody asked me that question. Hey, what'd you spend $20 on last month that was really memorable? I'm like, I don't know. So I ask you, what did you spend $5 on last night that was really memorable last week? Can we offer somebody a little bit of extra gratuity? Play the hero. You get to play the hero. You're in a position when you're out and about at a restaurant or at a place of service where most of their income is relying upon your gratuity. Dude, women, you all get to be the hero in that story. And think of the story that they go home telling. Oh, you're never going to believe it. This person, really good hair. I mean, left me $100 tip. Can you imagine? And you may have just changed their whole week. I want to encourage you as you're out there, as you're staying at the hotels, offer a little bit of grace, give a little more generous.
I wish you all the best. We'll catch you next time